Hey friends! Oh, happy day to you. This is Kristen Fagan here, and I'm outside, so you may hear some background noise, some planes, some dogs, some birds, things like that. We'll just roll with it, see what happens. And so I wanted to kind of start to jump in here into the group and share with you guys some simple art practices for well-being. Today I'm gonna do a really simple, really great scribble project. So that I used this when I was in pain, when I hurt my back last month, and I was really feeling like I need to do something to get the energy, the creative energy out, and that really helped for that. I also turn to this a lot if I am angry or frustrated, or if I'm anxious. This is a practice I come to just to kind of almost like wiggle it out, right? So we carry a lot of things throughout the day. We're always putting burdens on, and there's lots of different ways for you to help release and move through some of that energy. Things like exercise, yoga, dancing, singing, music is just such a great healer. All of that kind of stuff is wonderful, and art is just another tool you can have in your toolbox for something you can do to move that negative energy. And sometimes it's not even negative energy, sometimes it's just energy. Like sometimes I'm just stuck and I want to create something. I haven't done something in a week or 2 weeks, and I'm feeling like I gotta get my creative juices going, but I just don't have a lot of time, or I just don't feel like I have the energy to start something big. Practices like this little scribble practice is a great way to just get that creative thing going and make yourself feel lighter, raise your vibration, and get yourself in the flow. Sometimes just scribbling it out could lead to more pages and more creative work, and sometimes it's just that 5 minutes. I feel better, I can go do what else I have to do, and it was just a nice tool to move that anger, frustration, anxious, or just creatively stuck energy. Everyone has access to art, and art is so well-being, so good for your well-being. It's really weird to have these headphones in. Okay, as I was saying, everyone has access to art, and it's so important for our well-being. And this practice today is going to be a really nice one to turn to. You can use really simple supplies. It could be as simple as just a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, whatever you can grab in the moment. One of the things I like to add to this particular practice is pastels, because I like the tactile feeling that they have. Pastels, they sometimes are called, these are just like junior artist quality, very student quality. They're called craypas sometimes, C-R-A-Y-P-A-S. Same thing, it's an oil pastel. You can use crayons. They have a very similar tactile feeling that oil pastels have. And you can use watercolor, you can use acrylic. You are going to need a little bit heavier of a paper for those two mediums. So I'm going to start with just doing pencil and pastel for you guys today. You can use markers on paper, you can use colored pencils. So a lot of different options to do this practice. All right, I'm going to turn you guys down. Let's see here. There it is. So this is the page I shared here on the group when I was feeling a lot of pain and I needed to scribble it out. So you'll see there's these really heavy pencil marks, and then I have these metallic oil pastels that I used in this one. And I did 2 pages because sometimes I feel like one spread is just not enough, or you get a lot of the kind of inks out the first time, and then it's nice to flip and do a few more pages and see how you might lighten up a little bit. For example, like this page is almost totally covered with marks and scratches and all sorts of loops and these little, almost feel like little pain points, you know, like these really rough scribbles. And then when I turn to this page, even though I still have a lot of scribbling going on, I see a little more openness and I see a little more white space. So you can tell that, or I can tell looking back at this, that on this particular page, I had loosened up, I had calmed down a little bit, and I had felt a little bit better than I did when I first started. But they're both beautiful in their own way, aren't they still? I mean, even though I know that I was working through some stuff on this energetic page, they really do create some beautiful, beautiful marks and beautiful pages in the process. I'll show you guys a couple more that I have in here, because I know I have another couple of pages. This is another one right here, just to scribble it. And this one just uses oil pastel. And here's another one where I wanted to stay with just these kind of warm tones, these warm colors. And I could say something like this was more, I was feeling stuck, and creatively I just wanted to get the juices flowing and I wanted to play. You can see this is kind of more of a playful spread. And this one is another one. And this is one thing that I really like about pastels, is that they are smudgy. Like you can use your finger and you can smudge some of that around. I don't mind getting my hands dirty, so I kind of like that quality. If you're not into it, you might not like that quality as much, or maybe you'd want to have a glove on or something to protect your hands. But for me, sometimes that feels really nice to be able to smudge those pastels around. So this is a notebook that I picked up at Michael's, as well as this one, and they're kind of those like $1 journals. So this is very thin paper. It feels kind of like a photo paper. So really good for dry media, which would be pen, pencil, pastel, crayon, colored pencil, even markers, although markers might bleed through a little bit. So just be aware that it's kind of thin for that. And then if you wanted to play with paint or watercolors, then you'd go to your sketchbook that's like this, that has a little bit heavier paper. This is more of a true sketchbook. This is the mixed media one. This one's 98 pounds, and it's good for acrylic, watercolor, but you can also use pen and pencil and stuff like that on there too. So I'm just going to open up one of these little ones. I think I have some pages left in this one. And I'm just going to start with a simple pencil. And a lot of times, you guys, I like to start my practices with some breathing, kind of get present, get here, get now, all of that good stuff. But for this scribble out practice, usually I'm coming to the page already in a little bit of a state. I just really want to get energy going, and I'm not really preparing to take a breath and get myself centered and present. I just want to kind of get things moving. So this kind of practice, you may actually feel better and ready to take some deep breaths and bring yourself present after you do your scribble. So just a little note on that. So I'm just going to take some regular pencil and move it around the page. And if I was feeling frustrated, I might move my pencil a little more like this. If I was feeling angry, maybe I'd be pushing down a little bit harder and moving things around like that. If I just was feeling like I wanted to play and I was feeling creatively stuck, I might be a lot looser and a little more fun with my loops. Or maybe I'm confused and I'm working on something that I just don't know the answer to. And so, you know, I'm just kind of looping around in a very fluid way, giving myself permission to just let things go. So this is what a regular number 2 pencil would look like on your page. And then of course you can always use a pen. You know, a lot of times I pick up like what is near me, because this might be a practice where I'm just like, I have to get this energy out. I got to put some stuff down on paper, and I just pick up whatever is close by. Now this pencil I've got here is an ebony jet black extra smooth pencil by Faber-Castell, and it just has a little bit deeper of a look. See, there's the regular pencil. No, this is the pen. Here's the regular pencil, and then this is my ebony design pencil. And this one's just gonna have like more pigment. It's going to be a little darker. It's very soft to write with, so it doesn't feel quite as hard as the regular pencil. Kathy says she loves this activity. It calms her. Yeah, it's really calming. I mean, that is like perfect description for this activity. I feel like this is something I go to when I'm feeling stressed, frustrated, anxious, and a lot of times I might not have a lot of time. So it's also a very quick activity. You can just do this for a few minutes. I look like I need a new set here, huh? I'm getting kind of low. Green lover me, I only have this tiny little bit of green left. Let's pick a color that I actually have a lot of. So this is an oil pastel, and they come, usually what I do is when you're working on them, you just have a little bit showing on your fresh pastels, and then you just peel away a little bit as you need it. So you'll see that a lot of them just have like a little bit peeled off the top. And then sometimes I'll do pages just pastels. Sometimes I'll do it with a combination, pen and pencil and pastel. Yeah, and it's great. Like this little book here, good suggestion. Kathy says she has her book with her in her purse, and she can use, I use my question book for it. So this little guy is really lightweight. It's small. It can fit, I think it's maybe about, I would say about a 4x6 size, maybe 5x7. So it's small. It can fit right in your purse or in your car if you want to have something like this on the go. You can have a couple of them. Ooh, I'm loving that pink and that yellow. And again, these have like a very soft texture, which I almost like a buttery texture to them. And then if you wanted to, you can smudge them out a little bit. I would say if you're going to do this part, you probably want to be near a sink or have something that you can wipe your hands with. If you're out and about, the smudging might not be the best, but and then you can scribble, you can make little marks, you can decide you want to fill in. So I can always look at this page and see like there's this shape here, and maybe I want to go and just kind of fill that in. Depends on how much mindfulness you're looking for in the moment. If I wanted to slow down and be more mindful of my marks, this might be a good option. But if I'm just sort of wanting to move and groove and get things on the paper, I most likely will do stuff like this. What other color should I bring in there? Bring a blue. I can stick with an orange and stay in the warmer tones. And these little practices have such a beautiful abstract quality to them that if you wanted to dabble in abstract art, I think these are a wonderful way to kind of practice and get some stuff on the page. You can do shapes like circles and triangles. You can do little loopies. I don't know what else I would call those. Rainbow shapes. But mostly lots of scribbles. For me, anyway, I just tend to do a ton of little scribbles. Little dots and yes, a pack of crayons. Crayons are perfect for this, and I'm sure most of us have crayons lying around somewhere. Maybe I'll add a little brown in here. It's so smart to take it with you to doctor's appointments, Kathy, because I know otherwise I would just be sitting there on my phone. And because you have to wait anyway, you might as well spend your time waiting and doing something good for you. So what if you didn't have crayons or pastels? You could always just use a pen or a pencil, and you can do this with watercolor too. So here, before I close this out, I'll just show this one. This got a lot of happy, it's got a lot of happy, playful energy for me today. Truth be told, I haven't really painted since I hurt myself, so it's been about 2 months now, other than small things. But that's okay. You know, a lot of times in life we ebb and flow. We have more time than we do other times, or we just have creative inspiration comes and goes, and that's just a part of it. So it's all good. This one is one I did with watercolors first in the background, and then oil pastels on top. And then here's one that's just watercolor. So if watercolor is what you have, you can just play with watercolor too. And I like to call these a little more like meditations. Because of the medium of watercolor, you generally have to slow down a little bit, and it's a little more fluid and calming just on its own. So I don't come to this type of medium as often if I'm feeling anxious and frustrated, but I do come to this if I want to express peace, if I want to relax, if I want to slow down because I've been really busy, or if I just want to kind of play in the joy of it. So that's what I had for you today. I hope you enjoy this practice, and I look forward to coming back in here and sharing a couple of more. I've been trying to keep a list so that I can pop in and share those with you.